This is Otobie settlement. In not too distant past, the inhabitants of this settlement relied heavily on water from this pond to cater for their water needs. They cooked from it and the animals are fed from it. All other chores for which water is required are done from this unhygienic pond. For a community that has not even a well-manned health center, a high mortality rate among the people resulted from this ugly situation. But today, Otobie village has metamorphosed into a neighborhood with portable water, improved riverine transportation system, and accessible healthcare delivery system. This transformation story is not only synonymous with the Otobie people. Same could be said across the entire length and breadth of the geographical entity called Rivers State in the last 3 years. To whom much is given, they say, much is expected. Having sown the seeds of thrust by throwing an overwhelming electoral weight behind his candidature in 1999, the marriage of benefit then consummated between the government and the governed has today been richly blessed with fruits.
We think that we have every reason to thank God.
Each time I come to the hospital, I've been giving free treatment all along. No charge whatsoever, and they have given me every assistance requested.
I'm very fine now. The free medical is giving me fine body.
It is no longer in contention that the PDP government in Rivers State, under the visionary leadership of Dr. Peter Odili, has scored so many firsts across a broad spectrum to better the lives of the people. The administration breathed a new lease of life into erstwhile comatose sectors, hence turbocharging them for optimal benefit delivery. At inception, the focus of the regime was primarily on 6 key sectors, which include economic empowerment of the people, power generation for rapid industrial growth, health, education, security, and a massive boost in food production to feed the teeming populace. Secondary, and also of equally important attention, the administration's blueprint considered revitalization of dilapidated roads infrastructure to give more verve to human, vehicular, and goods movement. Also job creation for Rivers youths, as well as taming the monster of youth restiveness that had gripped the area before the regime came into being. Development of the rural areas and provision of safe and portable water also got the required attention. However, to achieve all of these certainly requires enormous financial resources. And in that vein, the administration embarked on a financial re-engineering of resources to garner adequate revenue to realize its vision for the people. For 8 years, Dr. Peter Otunoya Odili bestrode the landscape called Rivers like a colossus, leaving in its wake a litany of achievements and proven results of performance. The people of Rivers gave him their mandate for 8 good years to occupy the brick house, and he in turn served the people to the best of his ability. He has been given the mandate to serve twice, 1999 and 2003. Now, the fruitful tenure of Dr. Peter Odili is winding up as provided by the Constitution. And just like any other caring king who takes the well-being of his subjects dear to heart, the choice of who succeeds him naturally becomes a matter of personal interest.
So on behalf of Rivers people, we want to thank the leader of our party for supporting the choice of Celestine Obeya.
Born 48 years ago at Ubima town in the then Ekweri Eche local government, now Ekweri local government area of Rivers State, Sir Barrister Celestine Ngosichim Omeha.
So with the full experience in and out of government, politics, party, and so on, I feel, by the special grace of God, I'm qualified to step into the shoes which His Excellency the Governor is about to leave.
Outside his pedigree in politics and leadership, his antecedents show a man of God and a respected family man. Sir Barrister Celestine Omeha is a Catholic knight, married to Tonia Omeha, a senior lecturer at the River State College of Education. Their marriage is blessed with 3 lovely children.
My people of River State, my name is Celestine Ngozi-Chim Omeha. I am the governorship candidate under the People's Democratic Party of Nigeria. You and I, working together as stakeholders and as partners, will lift River State to a higher level. Thank you. God bless you.
One of the greatest challenges of people living in developing nations is the lack of access to health care services. Body Enhancement Annual Reconstructive Surgery BEARS Foundation was born out of the desire to help the poorest of the poor treat and correct congenital and developmental deformities using plastic surgery.
BEARS Foundation is a non-profit organization which was started in 2003, originally founded in Nigeria. And our primary focus is providing various types of corrective surgeries for underprivileged men, women, and children that have different types of deformities but cannot afford to have the corrective surgeries done.
Today, the dream of bringing hope and healing to the poor has become a reality.
I just came to Nigeria believing I was just coming to invest some money and start up a business and whatnot. But I've come to understand that the reason why God brought me to Nigeria was simply because of BEARS Foundation. We are very blessed to have as our patron His Emeritus Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who is an amazing man in every way, shape, and form.
I am proud to be patron of this foundation and support Dr. Ozoluwa wholeheartedly.
It was a blessing.
In 2003, BEARS Foundation put up a surgical program titled Bringing Hope to Nigerian Children Suffering from Birth Defects Through Plastic Surgery. The focus was on less privileged children born with some congenital deformities, which include cleft lip, cleft palate, and webbed fingers. Successful operations were carried out on 74 less privileged deformed children from all over the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
In addition to improving the lives of our patients, we also work hand in hand with our doctors that we work with, both internationally and local, for a great deal of exchange of knowledge between the volunteers. And we donate medical supplies and medical equipments to the local hospitals that we work with also.
In March 2004, BEARS Foundation organized and performed plastic reconstructive surgery for the victims of the contaminated kerosene explosions that occurred in Edo State in 2001. Highly trained and experienced plastic surgeons and operating nurses from Beverly Hills, California, United States of America were invited to Okada Town, Edo State to perform surgeries for 36 severely deformed victims of the explosions.
It's a passion, it's a calling for me personally. So I'm personally very hands-on with everything that we do. I go with my team to screenings in remote villages and cities and everything else. I meet every patient one-on-one. I actually take their pictures. And I'm of course in the operating room, I watch surgeries going on, I coordinate it all together.
The uniqueness of having many different medical specialists working together to achieve a common goal, which was to help indigent Nigerians, became the highlight of the 2006 BEARS Foundation Surgical Program. The medical mission hosted by the Kwara State government transformed 110 lives in 2 weeks.
We are very fortunate. We've had great partnerships with a lot of very highly reputable organizations such as Shell Snepco, ExxonMobil, the Australian aid government, they give a grant called AusAid. We work very closely with state governments here in Nigeria. And of course, there are individuals that make their own individual pledges and donations. And of course, my business, Body Enhancement, is a major sponsor also of Bears Foundation.
Here are some of the testimonies of the beneficiaries of the Bears Foundation 2006 surgical program.
I traveled to Delta State to see my family. So on my way back, in between Benin and Ore, I had a gasoline motor accident. Yeah, the vehicle somersaulted several times, and at the end I was dragged along the tie road and my face facing the tie road. So at the end I was defaced.
I discovered that my tummy started to be swelling up. I thought I'm pregnant. When my daughter had the tumor on her back, I was so unhappy, I was shattered. I thought that everything is over. After trying so many places, a friend introduced me to Bears Foundation. I had this program through one of the beneficiaries.
Before I met Bears Foundation, there was little my family could do to further my treatment.
I've been carrying this thing for more than 11 years. You know how it is. It is not easy.
The day they carried out the surgery, that was the day she was 3 months old. Modupe changed my baby, she changed my life. I was very happy.
The most surprising thing is that we were not charged for the operation. They are doing it free. They are helping us.
We never paid a penny, not even hospital bill, not even drugs. We were given free drugs after the surgery.
There was no nose. The eyelashes was down, so I really needed the face. And Modupe told me yes, they will reconstruct the face for me without paying a dime.
I thank Bears Foundation for doing the operation fine without no pains.
I'm appealing to corporate bodies,
federal government,
local governments,
state governments,
individuals.
They need everybody's support, money-wise, food, clothing.
I want people to support Bears Foundation to make them do more work for people that can't afford to pay.
Our achievement speaks for itself. If it's credibility, we have that. Every penny we receive goes towards what we say it's going for.
Organizing free medical programs come with a great deal of financial responsibilities, especially when all Bears Foundation patients receive free medical treatment at no cost to them or their families.
The major challenge we've had is having to let people understand that we all have to work together to ensure that good activities, good non-profit organizations, not just Bears Foundation, but they're able to sustain their objectives and reach the lives that they want to improve.
In addition to rendering free medical operations, Bears Foundation's beneficiaries get donations of clothing, shoes, non-perishable foods, toys, and books.
This is more like an appeal to every and anyone out there. It doesn't matter even if it's 1 penny, it adds up. So what we want to do to ensure sustainability of Bears Foundation is to raise money to get mobile surgical units, which will have 3 fully functioning operating rooms. With that, we can drive even to the most remote place in Africa. That we cannot do without getting funding for it. The quote we've got for one right now is about $1 million. We need that. We really need that, in addition to financial donations that we need. And like I said, we welcome the donations with clothing and non-perishable foods and books and toys and whatnot.
In order to continue restoring lives, bringing hope and healing to the poor, Bears Foundation welcomes partners and sponsors that share its vision and assist the organization with both monetary and non-monetary sponsorship donation.